6:30, I'd like to call the regular Board of Selectmen meeting to order, the March 4th meeting. If we can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. We have a guest with us, Erin. Would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Lovely of you, but I haven't signed them yet, so I'll do them the other way.
I'm doing this after you sign them.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
thinking of you.
I'm thinking of her.
I know exactly.
Public comment. Is there anyone here for public comment? I know that we have a guest here to talk to us about one of the issues, but I've asked her to just wait until we got to that issue. Is there anybody on? Where's Don?
He'll be here.
Okay, well, seeing no one for public comment, I'm going to move on to approval of the minutes. They were included in our packet, and they're from February 18th, 2026. If I can have a motion.
Oh, doesn't matter.
Sorry.
You're already out of order. Motion to approve.
And I'll second that. I do have a comment. Oh, yeah. It just the only comment I have, it says also in attendance, interested members of the public. I would just ask that in the future that we put the names of the people down so people will know. And if we forget to ask, we'll make sure we do.
Yeah. Well, we should have the sign-in sheet, so.
We do.
But they only sign in for public comment. They don't sign in if they just sit there. Yeah.
Maybe we should change that.
Maybe we should change that.
Okay, we'll start tonight. Would you like to? Do you have any comments?
Well, I was gonna say no. We'll just sign us all in, so all in attendance. So we'll just.
Yeah. Sign in.
Well, I'm here.
Would you sign in?
Okay.
All right. So. Hearing no other comments, all in favor of approving the minutes from February something? February 18th, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Abstained?
Abstain.
One abstention. Thank you, that passes. All right, we're going to move on to tax refunds. We do not have any tax refunds. So we'll just go to number 5. Appointment for the Board of Assessment Appeals. You can see on page 5 of your packet that Janet Brunwyn resigned from the Bethany Board of Assessment Appeals. The reason she did that is because she was elected in November to be on the Board of Finance, and because of a potential conflict, because the Board of Finance sets the rate, and then somebody, based on that, you'll have how much your taxes will be. She just felt it was best to resign. So, accepting her resignation, Barbara Pellicano had indicated a desire to be on the Board of Assessment Appeals. On page 5, you'll see the information about Barbara. She and her husband John have lived in Bethany for approximately 30 years. They have children who grew up here, and here she is. Hi, Barbara, we're talking about you. Good timing. Have a seat, take a breath, and you can tell us about yourself. Barbara grew up in Connecticut, lived here her whole life. Grew up in West Haven, attended the University of New Haven. Eventually got a degree there in electrical engineering. She's had a 40-year career in the electric utility industry in Connecticut. Currently, she works with Eversource in the Energy Efficiency Department out of their Berlin office. Barbara said she loves living in Bethany, appreciates the small town feel, and the residents' collective volunteer spirit. The family has built countless strong connections and friendships in the community, and like many other Bethany residents, they are honored to pitch in and maintain the character of the town. So welcome. Bethany, how are you?
I'm a couple minutes late. First I was running early, so then I slowed down and then.
There you go. It always happens. What would you like to tell us about yourself, or why you'd like to be on the Board of Assessment Appeals?
Well, it's funny because at first I wasn't all that interested. The more I learn about it, the more I'd like to do it. And I think that I'm as qualified as the average citizen, and having cars myself and a home myself. I've certainly am very familiar with the assessment process of a house. And how it gets appraised and what counts and what doesn't count. But I'm familiar with it, and I think I would be a quick learner, and I think I would really enjoy it.
Do you have any questions for Barbara?
No.
Do you have any questions for Barbara? No. Okay. Anybody online have any questions for Barbara? Seeing none, I'll accept a motion to appoint Barbara Pelicano to the Board of Assessment Appeals.
Motion.
Second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Abstain? It's unanimous. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
So you can stay, go whatever you'd like.
Yes, I know there was a March meeting, and then there's going to be a September meeting.
That's right. The March one, I just saw that. I think the original date was the 18th or something like that. It was canceled. I don't know what date they proposed. So I would say just call the town clerk tomorrow, and we'll find out for you. Or call me and we'll get the date for it.
Okay, so maybe the March meeting is yet to be.
I'm not
No,
sure.
wait, it is March.
Right, I'm not sure exactly what date.
Yes,
They said.
I didn't miss it.
No, you did not.
Okay.
And I know that you already have the handbook and you've read it.
I've
We've
read
talked
it.
about it.
I've read it.
And we're very, very excited to have you on board. Thank you so much. It's great.
Congratulations. Thanks. I'm excited for it.
Good. Perfect. All right, moving on. Park and Rec, the Tom Dunn policies and procedures. So those are pages. Is Nicole on? No. Those are pages 6 through.
I think it's just 6.
It's 6. It's a very large stick.
Yeah.
On a packet. So you may recall that $10,000 donation gift to the Park and Rec department. I believe he wanted it used for Bethany Hoops, but don't hold me to that. The previous Board of Selectmen accepted this gift, and I do not believe that the check has actually been turned over to the town yet. I spoke with our finance director today, who indicated that we can take the check, but we are, and she'll set up an account. Apparently, the check was accepted by previous board, subject to setting up policies for how this will be dispersed, if anybody else wants to add money to it. And so I received this policy from the Park and Rec department. It looks like by the dates on them, they were done last fall. I sent them to our town attorney. I was told that they were sent to the previous town attorney, but I don't have any information about that. But nonetheless, the policies were not presented before the Board of Selectmen, nor were they accepted. So what I would like to do is advise the Bethany Park and Rec department, please go ahead, get the check, hand it in to our finance person. We will open an account, and nothing, with the proviso that nothing is dispersed until these policies are reviewed by our town attorney and then reviewed by us. Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Do we need a motion for that? I don't think so. We're not moving anything.
Yeah.
Because it's already been accepted.
Right. Are we going to discuss the draft
Sure, we can.
Mhm.
Do you have any suggestions? I sent some suggestions to the attorney, but happy to come up with others.
Just on number 2.
Yep.
The gift overview of fund use restrictions.
Mhm.
They're talking about 10% allocated to scholarships or $1,000.
Mhm.
There could be a conflict if the scholarship grows or shrinks. 10% of it would be more or less than 1,000.
Okay, so it should be 10%.
Or 1,000,
Or like, is it just like an IE example for the 1,000 a year? Or is it up to 1,000 a year?
Yeah, we can say up to 1,000, 10% or up to 1,000, but something needs to.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the same thing with the equipment portion of it. And then,
Okay.
and then item number 4, the scholarship policy.
Yep.
Mhm.
Um, the dollar amounts for the families with 3, 4, or 6 or more children. I don't know if it's possible to peg that to some sort of an index. Maybe that's going to change.
Yeah, like, is that the federal guideline?
Right,
Or where
I
did
don't know where
yeah.
they came up with these.
Right.
But we can peg it to some sort of an index. Therefore, it'll change.
Agreed.
We don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll pass that along to the attorney as well.
There you go.
What else?
That's it.
I like number 6 though. I was happy about that. And I think that that's something we should take away with certain things like annual reporting and how it gets notified, and that we're making sure, like, thinking
Right.
about that for all the other stuff we're going to try to do. I think it's important to
Yeah.
have that with everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I did was talk to him. I let him, when I sent this to the attorney, maybe it's just semantics, but on section 2, it said the gift overview. And it says the gift source is Coach Thomas Dunn, and yet later on it says that other people donations can be made in his name. So I just wanted to indicate the initial gift source is Coach Thomas Dunn,
Mhm.
so that other people could give if they wanted to under this. And so after the policies comes the policies for the participants, and then the application form. So I sent all of this to the attorney. We should have an answer by our next meeting.
Okay.
But I will let them know that those are changes that you're looking to have up, the suggestions. Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. Next, Amity Youth Football. It is put over from the previous meeting. We didn't act on it intentionally because we were looking to see, the whole point is to see what sort of prices, what sort of things we've done in the past for all of the town buildings and facilities, how much we've charged, who we've charged, who we've waived, so that we can have some consistent and fair policy throughout for all of our buildings. And I don't think we're complete with that yet, but do you want to tell us a little bit about what you
But just some of the stuff I've been able to get with Leslie and have her look back. So I have not all of the data I was asking for, but basically she has Vets Park, Center Station, and the airport like broken up, and the expenses and the revenue that we've done. We don't necessarily have like who rented all clear, so we know like, is it a town group, is it a non-town group? We don't quite have all of that, but starting from 2022 to current 2026, it's a minimum of a $30,000 loss between all properties, up to $50,000 a year between all 3 of them that we are having to pay, whether it's building maintenance, electricity, janitor, everything, and then what we're actually recouping. Now I know that they did a price increase, but so currently it's listing 2026 as of right now because there was some work that had to be done at repair to the building at the airport, but this year alone, 2026, we're at 42,000 negative that we've spent on these 3 properties for renting them.
in 2 months?
Well, in this budget, I guess this is the budget cycle, but yeah, the budget cycle. So since July 1st.
Fiscal year 26.
Yeah. And the things that she's having in there and running, like, so if you look at the airport, it's broken down into the contracted services, electrical services, repair to building, and then all other expenses. When we look at places like Center Station, contracted services, the telephone cable, the electric, building repairs, heating oil, propane, all of those things.
So I think one of the things we're going to have to talk about is it or will it be our goal to be even, on these, or is it our goal to provide a facility for youth in our own community to be able to use the facility with the understanding that we're going to have a loss? Or is there some balance, some happy medium? For example, last week we waived the fee to rent the lodge for a group, a nonprofit group, but we asked them to pay the custodian's fee because we knew what that was, and the custodian would be there. We asked them to pay an initial rental application fee. I think was $50. So they paid that, but they didn't then have to pay the amount of the lodge, which was many hundreds of dollars. So it wouldn't. What we agreed to have them pay was not precedent setting, but it was also not covering lights and everything else, or propane.
Yeah, and when I've been researching like other towns, what they do and how they rent, I think it's important that maybe we consider like what are the classifications first, because that's kind of what they do: nonprofit, in-town organizations, out-of-town organizations, political groups, fundraising group. Like they literally divide up the categories and kind of create this organizational structure on like who has priority, what are the fees, what type of discounts are given based on how they serve the local town and community. And so I think if we can come up with that too, that would be helpful. But from what I understand with the data, it's not been done like that. So it's just like we rented it, we know how much we made, we know how much it cost, but we don't know it's actually going to all the kids in town. Is that actually going, to out of town groups? We don't quite know everything.
Okay, so we're still going back through some minutes to try and find out how other things were done in the past. Okay. So we're gonna not act on Amity Youth Football. We're gonna table it, but bring it on again as soon as we have some idea.
I do think too though with the Amity football, based on their application, I do have some questions on the time they wanted to, because that time of year I'm just concerned that it conflicts with other events that we currently have, and I want to make sure that we're aware of that, because they want it Monday through Friday from like 5:30 to 7:30, but I'm thinking of like the setup for the flea market. I'm thinking chicken barbecue setup the night before.
I can speak on that just a little bit.
Yeah, I just want to make sure like we know.
Generally speaking,
Can you just say your name?
I'm sorry, Erin Stevens. I will put my Amity football hat on. I am the treasurer of the Amity Youth Football Incorporated, and we generally use the field. So when we put in the application, we have to mark off the days because of weather. Almost 95% of the time, we never practice on a Friday. All of our practices are Monday through Thursday. We try to keep it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for the airport field. If we see that there's going to be some serious weather coming in, we may use it on a Monday, but we almost never use it on a Friday. And if there is anything coming with priority, if there was a chicken barbecue, if there was, we call practice and say, listen, it's not available today, and we just don't do it. That's an absolute not
the carnival is also, you wanted this August.
We typically start our Harvest Festival with mix with, but that's on a Sunday. I don't know how far in advance they decorate or set up for Harvest, because that's the first Sunday in October.
Our request was for August and not September, because the month of August we're usually at the middle schools, and then once the week of school starts, which is typically August 28th, around that week is when we move to the airport. So it's generally speaking the first week of September.
So the way that the application was written now, just so you can maybe let Jen know, it's August 31st through November 21st. Like it's a solid time through, and that's where my concern is. That's like a few months of like airports locked down for
actually get a new application.
Okay.
You guys.
Yeah.
We'll adjust that because she's no longer president of the organization as it is.
Okay.
So I'll take that over. And
thanks for putting that hat on and taking care of this for us. That would help a lot, I think.
I have to sit there and figure out who needs to pay for what, if anything at
Absolutely.
all. But that would help in for football to be able to specifically
address it there.
Yeah.
It is a lot of time that we do request because of the way that the season runs, and it's just about the only program that runs during that time frame. But there are absolute stipulations that we can change and adjust.
So my thought is maybe put Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday definitively.
Yes.
With the possibility of a Monday and Friday of that same week, if nothing else is happening on the airport grounds at that time. You know, maybe that would be a good way of doing it. And we'd be happy to take another application, but we're not gonna take you off the, we'll just keep you going until we figure this out. Can I just ask you, you said you have, sometimes you play at Amity Middle School, how much do they charge?
I believe it's 170. I can pull up an invoice. I believe we did have to pay for a security guard there. Just a moment. Actually,
Okay. Yeah, I'd be interested to how much, what the security guard fee.
so it's $60 an hour for 2 hours with armed security.
And then how much was the field?
We have an administration charge of $25 for our application every time it's monthly, I believe, for administration charge for our billing cycle.
Okay.
So it looks like we're actually just paying for the security and an administration. So we're not
Okay.
actually paying for a field use fee.
So you're paying $120 a day when you go there?
Yes.
So if you're going there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's $120 per day.
Yes.
How are you getting the money to do that?
That comes out of a lot of fundraising that we do.
Okay.
Generally speaking, our registration fee covers helmets, jerseys, shoulder pads. We have a reconditioning fee every year every other year of upwards of $30,000 for our equipment, and that fee is what a majority of our fees go towards. Is
For
making
the
sure.
equipment?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it said on the application about 95 attendees or people in the program across all the ages. Or
Yeah.
Okay.
With about 35% or so is being done.
Okay. And you guys do offer like scholarships or those?
Okay.
But
Yeah.
And are you considered, you said you're a nonprofit? You are, okay. Yeah, I think all this is important for us to be able to delineate.
absolutely.
Okay, but it's good to know that you're not paying the field fee.
No, it's just the security.
Okay. All right. So, does somebody, I'm gonna move to table the Amity Youth Football.
I'm not here for this. 1 second. So these guys have been using the field for years now. Between it was Amity Youth Football, it was Pop Warner Football, it was Amity Football again, whatever. We've never had a conflict as far as somebody else needed the field, the flea market, the.
All the events. Yeah,
Yeah.
never.
They practice up at the top of the cycle. They don't line the field, they don't have anything in the field, they come, they go. I don't think it's a union.
Okay. The reason for the tabling is not because of the Amity football. It's not because, it's just trying to figure out the policy.
Well, I know that's what it said, that the rental or the application for the past 3 years has never said 5 days a week. This is the first time.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's normally the 3 days, and that's why it's never been an issue. So this year, when it said all 5 days
Yeah.
in that time.
They screwed us up as far as porta potties and stuff.
Mhm.
Nationals.
Mhm.
So we had to pay an extra month of porta potties.
Mhm.
$150. They went to Nationals in Florida.
Yeah.
Well worth.
We
So-
also do bring in our own lights. We pull in light towers for fall when it starts getting dark.
Okay. Really, thank you for the explanation, but honestly, it's
The
not,
policy should be in place for sure.
right, we're looking for a policy that's fair and equitable to everyone across the town, or across all of our town rental properties and buildings. It wasn't per se anything about Amity Youth Football. which moves us to Amity Youth Lacrosse.
Which and we are asking to use the airport field for the month of, I think the 16th, March 16th. Mainly because it gets the most direct sunlight and they were able to snow blow a portion of it so that.
Said that last night
Yeah,
too.
that's
I
fine.
actually literally drove my car. I was on 63, saw them plowing the field
One of our,
and backed up right back into watching this. Yeah.
one of the coaches, Jimmy Rawson.
Yeah.
You guys all know.
Yeah.
He was like, well, I got the equipment. I said, you know, please.
And you get contact, Public Works.
Yeah.
Got permission, it's not gonna.
We wanted to do it before the ground froze, before the ground thawed at all, so that when the water does run off, we weren't leaving any tracks or any damage to the field. So we wanted to make sure that the ground was nice and solid to put the machine on it to blow it off, so that we could try and get maybe some bring half of the secret. Another couple weeks.
That's all they have is 2 weeks before they
Yeah.
start. So I have here in 20, and I know you want to start March 16th. And again, I'd like to suggest this, if you don't mind. We still don't have the policy yet. And normally we would table this because we don't have a policy anywhere, but because it's in 2 weeks, we don't want to put you in jeopardy either. And like we did last time, even though we didn't have a policy for the person who wanted to use or the group that wanted to use the lodge, I'd like to go ahead and make a decision about this. As long as, for the record, it doesn't present any precedent for anything while we're deciding the policy.
Yeah.
Is that okay with you guys? So I have a question in light of that. In 2023, you said the board waived the fees. In 2024, the board waived the fees. Do you have any recollection why the board did not waive the fees in 2025? Were you involved in that discussion?
So in 23, they waived them. In 24, they waived them. In 25, they did not, because there was I don't know why they didn't waive them, but we pulled out completely from using the facility because we weren't willing to pay the rental cost.
Okay, where did you go last year?
So we use Woodbridge at Peace Park, and we also use Red Wolf Park, and we don't have fees associated with those.
The town of Woodbridge doesn't charge you for that. And did the town of Woodbridge charge you for, I don't know, I'm guessing you bring lighting to this as well, do you?
No, we don't need lighting because of the way that the season falls. Our practice typically starts at 5:30. For the first couple of weeks, we run an hour and a half. That's breaking all the boys in as it is. It's just kind of getting them back into the swing of things. And then by the time we're using it mid-April, we have light until 7:30. So it's just the way the season falls that the program doesn't need lights.
Okay.
Did your nonprofit status change?
No.
Like in 25, that's what it was.
Nothing on our changed. It was a fall
Yeah, I just.
situation.
Do you know, is Amity Youth Lacrosse a nonprofit?
Yes.
A 501?
We're about one thing.
Okay.
This son and this I have one son and then I have two daughters. I also am the director of the BCS class, so if you want to talk that, I can go there next.
Okay, just
Somebody
join us
else.
every
Yeah,
week.
somebody else has something going on.
Hang out with us. What else do you want to tell us about Amity Youth Lacrosse? How many kids?
We have about 100, and again, at least 25% of us are Bethany residents. I think it's probably closer to 28 to 29% of the athletes are Bethany residents. I don't think they quite hit that 30% mark. But when we were speaking last year, back to September, when we were discussing football, the board had asked, what was the percentage, and asked what would be a reasonable percentage. And I said anywhere between 25 and 30% of, athletes being a member of the town. They're paying taxes on it already. It kind of rolls through.
Yep.
So,
Where are the other kids from? Is it
Orange
Orange
and
and
Woodbridge.
Woodbridge? Okay. And these are children who are K through.
This is K through 8. So the middle school's program is girls volleyball. I believe they have a wrestling program for the middle school. They also have a basketball program, but the rest of the youth sports are typically covered by nonprofits because we don't offer anything within the school system for them. So that would be lacrosse, that's football, that, I think most of baseball, I don't think middle school offers baseball. So the other town, the residents have to cover making sure that these kids get a little bit of experience before they hit the high school level.
Okay. The children pay to go to Amity's lacrosse,
They do.
and what is that money used for?
That money is generally used for equipment. Again, we have a very small registration fee. I think $300 for juniors and seniors, which is 7th and 8th grade, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and then I believe it's 250, 275. I haven't had one in the younger grades in a while. Sorry. For the lower grades, and as they get younger, our kindergarten and first graders, I think, pay $10 a season, and that generally goes to paying refs, because every time we have refs on the field, they're a minimum of $85, and there's 2 to 3 refs per field per game per day. Multiply that by the 5 games that we have to play on our fields, and that adds up really quickly. It's $700 to $800
Each week.
each week.
Okay.
You guys do maybe like scholarships or anything like that for any
Yeah.
kids that want
If there's any question, then we have equipment to loan and lease.
Okay.
We actually got a scholarship last year from Dick's that let us buy 10 sticks for kids that needed to have loaners and that kind of stuff. So we do apply for other scholarships.
That's great.
As well.
Okay.
One more interjection, as far as public works, it costs us nothing for these guys. We cut the field anyway. We don't line it, we don't do anything. We just cut the grass and they have it.
That's great.
Do you need to line the field for lacrosse?
No.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions for Erin? It's good you're here. Thank you. Just hang out. We'll probably have other things.
I mean, I think like you know, she made the comment, and I agree, and I think it's important that there really isn't access to sports for kids in this town before they go to high school. So these types of programs are really, really important that we have for our youth. So figuring out a way,
Developing the team morale and having the emotional development as well as physical, and having an outlet for these kids that are transitioning, it's a huge thing, learning how to be on a team, whether they're acting out in school or it translates into all aspects of it, and we're trying to make sure that we're positive influences and all of that.
maybe we can promote it more, maybe the bulletin or whatnot, just to try to get more kids into sport.
I'm more than happy to do that.
I think that would be great.
Just be in touch and we'll figure out how to do it in the bulletin. So again, I'm just for purposes of the record indicating that it not be setting a precedent, but I suggest I would move that we waive the fees, allow them, they're gonna be there from March 16th to April 3rd. It's Monday through Friday. We have here.
Yes, because of the amount of space that we were able to close open. It wasn't extremely large, and we have 8th graders that are going to be humming balls, and we can't have kindergartners on the field at the same time, so we have to break up the age groups on just different days so that it's just for safety purposes. We can't.
So I didn't get anything from Vinny saying that there were other things.
That's what I was just gonna say, because it's the north and south field. I don't know that there is anything.
Okay, so I'd like to move that we waive the fee and we allow this again, not precedent setting, so that we can figure out what our policy is gonna be, but I don't wanna hold them up either, and that we go ahead and do this.
Second.
Yeah.
Any discussion?
No, I'm good with it.
Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain, great, have fun.
Thank you so much for all the information. It's really
Yeah,
helps.
Setting guidelines. That I can help answer questions.
Well, we know this room works on. Thank you.
Yeah,
But
no,
I'd
great.
like to see if we can get more kids involved in it. And
I think truthfully, once we set policy, we'll probably be asking groups. And maybe you could be the representative to just sit with us. And
But that's what I'll do.
maybe I didn't volunteer her. That was good.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
I don't know anything about soccer,
All right, moving on to Halfway Home Rescue. Thank you very much. Halfway Home Rescue indicated the following. It's an organization requesting the use of the lodge for a fundraiser. A specific date hasn't been provided, as they've indicated flexibility. The group has not previously reserved the town facility, so there's no prior usage history. The organization is managed by a Bethany resident and a Board of Ed member. I think it would be helpful to know more about them.
Yeah.
Before we act on it.
And the date when do they want it?
Right. Let's see what it says here. It says this is from Allison Worth. To Vinny, the person who does the scheduling. I am a Bethany resident, Board of Ed member, and volunteer with Halfway Home Rescue Inc., a local animal rescue nonprofit based in Woodbridge and serving the Bethany, Orange, and Woodbridge area, but it's not limited to that. We are a licensed nonprofit. We are looking to host a fundraiser at Lakeview Lodge, possibly a bingo night or a quarter auction. We are hoping to get the lodge time donated. We can be flexible with our dates as long as it's a weekend. Please let me know if there's an open date you might be willing to donate our organization.
Yeah, I don't know much about him. What I will say I know is with the group, a lot of Amity High School students do things with them. They made a bunch of cat ornaments for the holidays. I know they sold them out of the diner. They had them at the small business Saturday, and it's all for animals, but that's all I know about it. I think it'd be nice to know.
So why don't we ask Allison to come in next time and see if she can you arrange that day, possibly if she can come in and tell us a little bit more about it and pick a date.
So this is an animal rescue?
I thought those people come out of prison.
Well, right, I didn't know that.
Maybe it's animals coming out.
Rehabilitation.
Yeah, I just feel like the kids in this group were a bunch of Amity High School kids, and they made a bunch of ornaments for dogs and cats and things with cat, and they made them and they sold them to raise money for this, and they're always trying to, and they work it and they try to do things.
So this is one of those things we really do need
Correct.
to get policy for, so that we can. Okay.
Yeah.
So are we tabling that?
Yeah. And reach out to
Allison to come and talk to us about it.
Yeah.
Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Discussion of the propane bid. We have Don Shea here who's going to tell us all about it.
in the house.
All of the paperwork on it, is that well, I was home and the website didn't let me click on for this, I rushed on there.
Look at what's commitment. Appreciate you.
So anyway, we went up to bid 3 years ago, July, 3 years ago now, starting July 1st, for a propane bid, for propane for all our heating for our buildings. Okay? So we get price differential over Selkirk pipeline price, which is the price that comes off the pipeline, and they tell us how much over the pipeline price we're gonna charge us. Okay, so we look for a 3-year bid with the possibility of 2 more years, 1 or 2 more years extended on the bid. Okay, we got 6 prices, anywhere from 75 cents over price, 65 cents, 35, 30, and then 25 cents over price, which was Gasworks and Wall. They have been wonderful so far.
So that's what
That's
we're
who you
using.
use.
We use Gasworks and Wall, 25 cents over Selkirk price. Again, I have no idea what that is. This is my friend Sal's thing, and it's basically whatever they charge us, like the going rate on the stock market for a program.
Yeah, whatever it is that day.
Yeah, it's a daily, it's not a fixed price, it's so much today, tomorrow, it might be more, it might be less, who knows.
So if they're paying $1, they're charging us $1.25.
Okay.
So it was 25 cents over price, the bid is up on July 1st. bid with 2 years optional. Us and them, we agreed, they agreed, we'll extend it for 2 more years. One year.
It could be 1 or 2, right?
Okay, I spoke to them, they've agreed that they'll extend it into perpetuity, so whatever. But we only have an option for 2 more years. So for 25 cents over the price, they've been wonderful to us, we've had no issues with them. So I recommend extending the price, the contract for 2 more years.
I have a question. Do you know, and I am not knowledgeable in this, but do you know if we're getting large tanks filled, small tanks filled? Because that's a big price differential when you look at that price.
Okay,
It's
so
just
right
Selkirk,
now,
so that's what I'm just asking.
okay, so in town hall, we have 2,000-gallon tanks.
Okay.
Sitting out front. At Public Works, we have 2 500-gallon tanks. At the firehouse, we have 2 500-gallon tanks.
Okay.
At the lodge, we have 1 500-gallon tank. So
That's
we're not
the
filling up-
minimum.
So
I
those
say
are the
that.
large. It's because it's saying right now, like the current price, like you're saying, it's about a 60 cents difference.
Over
If on
Selkirk. So we're getting-
Selkirk is
so we're
60
getting-
and large is 500 gallons. So as long as we're doing that 500, it's a 60 cents like lower than a small. They charge more for less.
So we're getting 25 cents over. Instead
Yeah.
of 60, we're getting 25 cents.
Yeah.
We're not filling up 20-pound tanks. They do fill up our, we have one over here by the kitchen, I think it's 100 gallon. Whatever, they fill up once every couple of years for the stove.
Okay.
They fill up one at center station for the stove, but other than that, it's even the building.
I will say that during a very cold weekend, for whatever reason, we ran out of propane at
At the lodge.
the lodge.
Mhm.
And they came immediately when it was noticed, and they filled up what they thought would be enough for a couple days, or for a short period of time. And the next day went in because it was going to be used, only to find out that we ran out again. They came immediately and filled up the whole thing, right? They did the whole thing then. All they had with them, I think, was the first day was enough to,
They bring like 20
yeah, to get us.
We own the tank at the lodge. And unfortunately,
Can't do the monitor on there.
well, years back, you know what the Veterans Memorial plaque is at the lodge? They built it. Swear to God, it's like 50 feet away from the tank.
Okay.
So the tank is too old to put a monitor. So they did the best they could. They recommend we rent a tank or buy a new tank from them. We heard about that in the spring. Every other place in town, we have a monitor, and they tell us we're down to 10%, 20%, 30%.
Yeah.
We ran out once over there because it was 5 below zero for a month. So,
No damage to pipes or.
No.
no damage to pipes. They came right out. Actually, Frisco Francisco, our custodian, was renting the building that day for his birthday party, for his kid's birthday.
Oh, it was his event.
And he went and he was cold in the building. I was in Florida. So I called them, they were so
That's great.
they're very nice company. I believe you guys in Wallingford used to use them, right? The gas work.
Yeah.
They run on 68 in Wallingford, Cheshire. Wonderful company. And the price is right. You know, I don't give them. The company's wonderful, but the price is right. Okay. If we go out to bid again, if we go out to bid the next 2 years,
We'll see what's coming through and what we're using. I mean, I don't think we can afford double or triple over what
it's
we're
25 cents right now.
Yeah, these that are 75 cents over, like that's.
So, yes.
Yeah.
So we're good. And like I said, they're going to continue it forever. We have 2 more years. 2 more years from now, you guys will have to deal with it and go out to bid. Or maybe I will. Probably not.
Any questions for Don?
You did say that, did we get anything in writing from them that they
I
were?
mean, I'm praying because I just spoke to them verbally over the phone. I wanted to go to you guys first. Once you guys approve it or whatever, then we'll go to them and you guys have to sign a new contract, I'm sure, right? Now, how does that work? So we'll sign a whole new contract or just?
Generally, it's just an extension letter. A letter saying that you
So
both
do
agree to
we
extend
wanna
it for
do
2
1
years.
year? It's 1
2 years
I
would be
think 2
appropriate.
Probably two.
They've been a good company to us. It's a good price. Let's take advantage of it.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll get a 2-year contract, a 2-year extension written up, and you guys can sign it.
So we need a motion to extend this for 2 years, providing the fact that they give us a letter confirming that.
Yeah, motion for that and to authorize you to sign.
Okay,
Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Great, it's unanimous.
Thanks for coming down here.
Thank you. Other business comes before the board, there's 2 other things. There's 2 other things. One is the Solid Waste and Recycling Committee on several occasions put a request for members. I was a member of the Solid Waste and Recycling Committee. It is an advisory board and it advises the Board of Selectmen. Since I'm now on the Board of Selectmen, it would be hard to advise myself legally, so I needed to resign. So they were looking for another member. We put it in the bulletin, to best of my knowledge, I believe it was online, asking for people who are interested. The person who is interested is Patsy Weiner. I did speak with her. She said she's interested. She thinks it will fit within her time frame. She hasn't yet had the opportunity to speak with Eric Friedan, who's the chair of the committee, but they're more than happy to welcome her if that's something that we want to do. There's no limit to the number of people we can put on here, to the best of my knowledge. So if you find someone in your travels that really wants to be on the Solid Waste and Recycling Committee, certainly bring it forward. But I thought this way they have 4 people now, this way they could have 5, which is what we've been working with. And they've been really beneficial. They've been very helpful to both Dawn and to me in going over all kinds of recycling things we're trying to do. It's been a really good committee looking at every aspect of recycling. So I would love to. Patsy Weiner is somebody. Does everybody know her? Do you want me to tell you a little bit about her? Do you know her?
I know that's.
If you would like to,
No,
I'd be happy to entertain a motion to put her on the Solid Waste and Recycling Committee. Appoint her.
yeah, I mean, the chairman wants her, or is okay with it?
Yeah, I asked him. He said he hasn't spoken with her, but I don't even know that he knows her. But he said fine.
Okay.
And I know the committees need to be, I don't know, not all one party. There's, quite frankly, one unaffiliated person, and I think the other 4 or 3 are Democrats. But we can add people to it. I don't think there's a. I could be wrong. I don't think there's a limit to the number of when the committee was started.
No, I don't have a problem with it as long as he's okay with it.
Yeah, he said fine. He asked me. He was here the other day and asked me if she was appointed yet.
Okay. So I guess it's okay.
I guess we could put her on other business. So
Nominate.
Sure, I'd like to nominate this,
Patricia Weiner.
yeah, for the recycling committee.
Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Unanimous. The other thing I just wanted to tell you about was that, because my goal is to keep you guys updated with as many things as go on here every day that we possibly can. As you know, we had sent out a request for a job for the executive assistant to the first selectman. We had applicants come in. We interviewed them over the course of 2 weeks, and we had someone today. This board approved the description of the job, and we had someone today indicate that someone was offered a job and she was willing to take it. And we're very, very happy to have her on board. And her name is Samantha
Mondo.
No.
Mhm.
And we'll give you more detail, but she's probably going to be coming on board on or about March 16th. So that would be great. So that's all I have to tell you about at this point. Is there anything else anybody wants to bring up for the good of the order?
Based on questions since Dawn's here, sorry, throwing you on the spot.
It's okay.
Because I'm trying to do all this work with the fields and figuring everything out. And I found out, I know that the Hop Francisco Field and the baseball field at BCS are not maintained by the town or by DPW, but they are maintained by the town. This is what I got, and so I just want to make. And then the facilities are maintained by 3 part-time employees during the season, which runs March through November. That's what I was told. I just want to get the facts. I figured, hey, you probably know the facts. And then all the reservations and everything for those facilities are not done through the town. It's done directly through the BAA. I'm just trying to find out those 3 part-time employees, when they are maintaining these fields, they're paid for by the town.
I believe they're paid through Park and Rec.
Okay.
Okay. As far as maintenance at the Hope Francisco Field, we maintain the outfield. We maintain the grass.
We meaning DPW? Okay.
We don't do the infield. We don't do the play.
Okay.
The outfield, we do the corn track, we take care of basically the rest of that stuff. I believe we charge $1 a year for rent. It costs us a lot of money for upkeep, electricity, whatever. But again, are we in to make money, or are we in here to provide services for them?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get
So-
that information to kind of see, because the fact is, all the information I even got from finance, because we don't man this, we have no idea what the expenses are.
So we cut the grass in the
electricity.
fields.
Okay.
We pay the electricity.
We know what that is because
We can get that.
And it's sometimes it's a lot, sometimes it's not.
Do you, Dave, you're shaking your head. Do you have information about any of this?
Yeah. I don't remember the last time they're on payroll, but we do pay 3 people for field maintenance. For that.
And it's usually through Park and Rec,
Yes.
and it comes out of the Park and Rec budget. Okay.
Yeah, they cut the grass, they spread we buy the clay for the fields, they spread the clay. For Hopi, Francisco Field. What was the other field you were talking about?
Well, it just said when it lists the Hopi Francisco Field, that includes 1 softball, 1 baseball, 1 batting cage, 2 bocce balls. And then it says
So that's
the whole.
That's the field behind it.
Yep. And then it says that the baseball field, the upper playground, BCS, 1 baseball field.
I don't know. Do they use it anymore? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't-
That's-
Yeah.
We don't do anything. Yes,
Okay.
Public Works has nothing to do with the
Okay.
fields. I'm sure the schools.
Are you in charge of the Bethany Free School baseball? If not, we can make sure you are. We can do that.
But based on
I know that they're
DPW doesn't maintain it, but if those 3 people that are hired from Park and Rec maintain it.
They maintain the infield at Hopi, Francisco, up here, I don't know.
But we pay for the clay apparently.
Yeah.
So we buy the clay, we buy whatever.
So we should probably just ask BAA about it as well. What our Park and Rec, we can do that. I don't know anything about BCS. We can ask the school tomorrow.
I'm just trying to get all the data, and I agree with you, and I think that, I mean, I'm a mom of 4, and I was an athlete in sports, and I just think it's so important that we have these services, but we need to make sure we're spending where we need to spend to get to as many in the community as possible.
And it all comes down to like the lodge and the center station, and everything else. I mean, are we here to make money? Are we here to service the town?
Right.
I mean, our tax dollars go for so many other things.
Right.
A couple dollars so the kids can use the fields, the kids can use the park, the kids can use the swimming hall.
I don't
the
think you're gonna
football
get,
field. I mean,
I don't think you're gonna get disagreement from anybody sitting here. I just think that we're trying to do this fairly honestly. We have some groups who come in who are from outside and they say, oh, you have a great field, we'd like to do it. We charge $500 per child. We have money, we can pay it.
Well,
we have
do
other
that,
people who
like for the gym, for some of the is we do get asks for using the gym for for-profit organizations.
Right.
For nothing, because it's for the kids, well, it's not for the kids, you're charging.
Right.
But a not-for-profit is a different story.
Totally. And then it services the community, provides scholarships for community people so that money isn't a barrier. Like that's a big thing too. We want to get these kids in there.
But as you're doing this, I think it's probably worthwhile getting from maybe they do this already, a certificate of insurance.
Mhm.
Maybe that's something that they.
Those can be provided by all sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe, when they apply,
I think it's already on the application that they
and
have.
maybe
So
Right.
it needs to get that.
They have to get
maybe
Yeah.
they're profit or non-for-profit, or they're not-for-profit status.
Mhm.
Because they should all have
We all have
forms for that.
501c certificate.
Yeah, and that way we'll know for certain there's no question.
Mhm.
But that's the issue to be determined, but I really think, I'm guessing, I could be wrong, that this group is probably gonna say, yeah, we wanna, we're here to, it's not to make money, it's to,
Provide services for the community, the kids, and
yeah, we need
families.
to, again, do it.
I'm just a little confused on the whole relationship with, BAA.
Mm.
If it's a soccer field. The town owns that, we lease it to them for $1 a year.
Which we haven't been paid. But it's okay. It's true, but legally matters.
And we pay for some of the maintenance. Some,
Clay, which I have no idea what that costs.
depends on the.
Well, it sounds like you're paying for all of the
We're
maintenance.
we're paying for all the maintenance
Of the ground.
Just for your park and rec is doing one kind of.
Yeah.
So,
The electricity, this and that.
okay, so I guess my question is, who determines how much to charge for the field and who gets the field? And where does that money go?
BAA, all of it. That's what it says right here. We don't schedule it. We don't do anything. All scheduling is controlled by the BAA. So we never see the money. We get the dollar and that's it.
My understanding is that two gentlemen from BAA came to talk to me about some of what they did, and we can, I'm sure, have them here. But they talked about that they do. There is a team. There's a baseball. I'm gonna get this wrong, but there's a baseball league that has sometimes used that field, but I don't know that they actually get money from them in order to use the field. It's an outside entity.
It's like football when they cross, the kids when they play baseball, they pay $50, $80, $100, I'm not sure, I'm making up numbers, to play.
Yeah.
And then they provide insurance, they provide the match, just like you guys do.
And the ref.
Umpires,
Yeah, the umpires. Yep.
whatever. A nonprofit, yeah, they're not making money, somebody's making money.
That's a good question though.
Yeah, it's,
Because we've seen those electric bills.
Electric, yeah, sometimes they get on.
What's using electricity then?
They have
The
a,
light.
There's a building.
they have a clubhouse.
It's the building.
They have a clubhouse with the kitchen and they have Super Bowl parties and they do a lot of stuff at the clubhouse. And again, these guys are doing it for nothing. They're volunteers.
Right.
We don't want to, they meet once a month and play cards and discuss baseball. We don't want to stop them from doing that. They do a lot of work for the kids.
And BAA is working hard to
And the lights?
raise money.
There's no lights in the field. They're not.
But it's a building. If you go near the bocce court, there's a cinder block.
It's a clubhouse.
Yeah.
Building.
So what did, you know,
I think that's like, isn't
yeah,
it?
and here's my light bill, I'm just saying. For football, we pay for our light bill. Lights are expensive. So how much is the electric bill when you say it's very expensive?
Typically, 9 months a year, it's almost nothing. But you go winter time, it's 5, 6, 7.
6, 7, yeah.
Is there electric heat in it?
There's electric heat, there's a kitchen,
Sounds gotta think about that.
and again, not only like the pavilion. November 1st, we blow it out for the year, we shut it down, no more electric bill, don't pay.
I'd like to know like how many numbers too, because I know a lot of kids that play baseball in town, but they don't play in town. They play in Cheshire, they play in Orange, they play in other areas. I'd like to know how many it's serving Bethany residents, how many, kids are.
I think if Aaron ran a baseball league.
I was gonna say Aaron's got a hat.
I know.
But it goes to the same thing. If we're saying football, we want to have 25 to 30% in-town resident kids participating.
I'll make that motion.
There needs to be a concept for it. Second, Aaron.
I would have no idea how many kids. I have no idea what the BA does. I just know that we pay.
I'd like them to maybe come to a meeting and talk to us, so we can ask some more
Yeah,
questions
I mean-
and get answers.
We talked about that for doing it for a couple of years.
Yeah, I think it'd be
How
great.
much money they taking in this account?
I have a feeling they're not taking in a lot of money. I know
And
that,
maybe not.
Oh, they're not,
Right.
they're
I
not,
don't think
they're not killing it. They're not making, they're not getting.
but I don't
rich
even
on
think
it.
they're making a profit because from this money, they then have to pay for whatever they pay for at the carnival. They have to pay for
They're
insurance.
making money in the carnival though.
It pays for itself.
They're,
I've
that,
heard- okay.
that food tent?
Well,
They're killing it.
Yeah.
However, as
people say otherwise.
the
So
umpires,
Let's get
the
back.
umpires are pretty good.
Yeah, the umpires. Yeah.
Right, yes. The sports officials are, and there's a shortage of them, so we pay whatever they ask because
Mhm.
the mental aspect of it is really intense.
And again, if we're paying, a couple thousand a year for the whole thing to service, 200 Bethany kids, it's well worth it.
Right. So I'd like to know.
So to go back to BAA, what was explained to me, like they have an Easter egg hunt coming up, and they have to pay for the supplies and insurance for that, and they have a fishing
With the
derby,
fishing
Yeah, the
derby,
fishing
it's
derby.
fun. They do a lot of good things.
right, and in the carnival. But I'm sure they'd be happy to come in and talk to us. They were very kind to come in and explain some of this to me. So.
Yeah, my remark about them using the house is not that they shouldn't use it. It needs more efficient equipment in there.
I've never been in.
We haven't gotten an invite.
I don't know either.
It needs to be more energy efficient.
Like I said, the pavilion was shut down 5 months a year.
Yeah.
If you're doing baseball spring and summer,
Spring and fall.
and
Yeah.
spring, fall, summer, whatever. So winter time.
What are they using?
But I mean, you're getting, these guys are volunteering, so to blow off steam once a month, play cards for a couple hours. Do it at my house.
I heard.
But,
Well, they probably get a taste of meat. They're gonna be, and
Right. Yeah.
A meeting would be nice.
Okay, we can invite them.
Thank you.
Any other business anybody want to bring up? All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn at 7:33.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm not gonna miss any more meetings. I'll tell you that.
Then I'm making a motion.
Now, quick story. I was home at 6:30. Did I
Do you want to undo the recording? Thank you, whoever.